Why I cannot see myself? I started it. Can you see it?
No, it just says it's starting soon.
Oh, maybe it won't turn on until
4:30? Oh, there
maybe.
it is. There you are live. I can see you.
We're there. I can see you. And now we have the...
Now I'm there.
I'm turning off the volume from the video so it doesn't make the feedback. There it is. Hi.
Okay.
Make sure you use this controller.
Yeah. Don't need to see me. I'm turning it up.
That happened to the camera last time. And I just turned that off.
Okay. Should I turn off my webcam? Oh, I'm off.
Yeah, you can just click it, and then when you need to talk, you turn it on.
Okay.
Mark or Hector Suniga, please come down to the front office. Mark or Hector Suniga to the front office.
Do you get the delayed?
Yeah, there's a delay, but that always happens. 1 minute. We're about to start. If you're there, let us know that you're there. Oh, look at it. Well, it's 4:30. I guess we're gonna have 2 viewers. Let's see if someone else comes in. See if someone else comes in. 2 viewers, that's us.
Oh. Yeah.
No. Let's start then. Hello. Well, it's 4:31. I'm going to start and present the team. So during this time that people are logging in. Hi, JSD. We are, as you know, this month we're going to talk about the assessments and ways to make formative assessments with the iPads. But we have a really cool resource that you can use in any device. So it's not only for the iPads. You can use if you have Chromebooks, even if you only have one computer in your classroom, this will be your resource. So right now we're going to start. Okay, hopefully now we're watching my main screen. And we're going to talk about Padlet. Padlet is the great app. I love it. It's simple. You can use it on any device. It's like a blank wall. People can post, they can add the links, media, collaborate, and it's very easy, which is, I'm going to keep repeating that because we want to facilitate our job, right? So as teachers, we want to use resources that are user-friendly, so we chose Padlet. My name is Isis Tosada Rodriguez. I work at Bussy Middle School. I'm a U.S. history teacher, social studies department head. I'm part of the Avid Side team, and I'm part of the I3 member. You can follow me on Twitter at Mrs. Tosado. My partner here is Miss Joy Sanders. Joy, can you hear me? Do we have Joy here? Well, Joy Sanders from Albanian Middle School. She's an English language arts teacher. She's my partner in the I3 program, and you can follow her on Twitter at Joy Sanders 314. So we're going to start talking about the formative assessments. Formative assessments refer to a wide variety of methods that teachers use to conduct in-process evaluations of student comprehension, learning needs, and academic process during a lesson, unit, or course. And this is from the Glossary of Education Reform. So we're going to find ways to use Padlet to assess the students, see how they're comprehending, learning, and the progress they're making in class. The EAST standard that we're using today for our Padlet program is the Empower Learner. Students should have an active role in choosing, achieving, and demonstrating those learning goals. They can use technology tools to reflect the learning, personalize their learning environments, apply the feedback from practice, demonstrate high ability in troubleshooting. And that's what this app is going to help us with. Some of the misconceptions that we have with technology is that it is not safe to use technology with the students, especially when they're younger. In our case, we're teaching middle school, and most of our kids are 13 years old or up, but we also have some kids that are minors, below 13 years old, and this is something that scares people, right? We also assume that they're digital natives. But we have to understand sometimes they know how to use a cell phone, but they might not know how to use a resource academically or use the web academically. So through Padlet, we can utilize a collaborative digital tool safely in the classroom, and it's going to work great in any level. If the students can read, they can write, if they can type, they can participate. Even if they don't, you can post a safe link for them to access. Some of the benefits of Padlet is that the teacher has the control. It's really easy to access. You can obtain real-time data, and the wall is permanent. You can pick different layouts, and you don't have to register to collaborate on the wall, which is something that simplifies the process. Now, I'm going to show you soon what Padlet is and how it works, but it's kind of a bulletin board or a virtual wall. It's a digital canvas as the same company presents it. So imagine the opportunity that you have. Instead of using Post-its and sticky notes, you can use this wall to make all the comments, to post all the ideas on the same place. And the best part, it can be used from any device that has a browser. Okay, so we're still here. Perfect. Okay, so Padlet, let's go back to this. I'm going to show you how it looks. Like I said, it's an iPad app. It can also be found through the Chrome page. And I'm opening the link so you can see how it looks. This is my page on Padlet. You can register really easily as a teacher. And you will have the dashboard, the Padlets that you have. So as you can see, these are Padlets that my students have been making or they have shared with me. All the attachments that you have used on your Padlets are going to stay here, and people that are collaborating with you as well. So I'm going to show you some Padlets over here. This was used as a quick write, and this is the question that I posted for the students to work with. As you see, I had an excerpt, right, about an account of slave trade, and they were making their own quick writes. As you see, all my kids were reacting and writing about that quote. This is just an example of the things that we can do with the Padlet. And it's so easy. For example, I just click over here, and you already have a Padlet. And you can decide what layout you want to use. You can decide if you want to change the symbols. There are many symbols to use. You can put some tags so it's easy to find, and you can even change. I can even put my name there so it's easier for them to find my Padlet. We'll talk about this later. Let's go back. Okay, for more instructions, if you want more instructions, I added this link to the SCED page. And I have all the instructions of how to use Padlet. So as you see, it can be used for presentations, one-pagers, boards, present a discussion prompt with groups, whole class, or even every student can make their own with a specific topic. You can log in from Google, even from Facebook. The students don't have to log in if you're the one managing the Padlet. So if you want to access this one, this is the address, and it's also on the SCED page. It has step-by-step with the links. This is something I like a lot. The one I show you is very simple because I only posted a question on my Padlet. I'm sorry, I closed it. Oh, it's right here. I only posted the question and the excerpt, but you can make it a little bit different just by adding a link from the web. You can upload your own document. You can add a picture. Important thing when we're working with our students, you have to set the privacy settings. And as you see over here, you can share and you can decide what are they going to do if they have access. So they can write, and then once you have all the feedback from the students, you can even close it and just use it as a read-only document. You can even ask if you want them to be required to approve before posting. But as the owner of the Padlet, you are in control. You can start deleting what the students do at any time if you see something is not appropriate. Another example that we can use is this. So I have this Padlet with all my resources for the class. So I have the syllabus, I have the remind accounts, I have the login for the digital textbook. And this is just a suggestion. You can put everything on that Padlet. So when they're looking for the resources, hey, they just go open that Padlet. You can put a QR code and they'll find it. Possible ways. And let's start talking about the assessment, the formative assessment, because that's what we're working on today. There are different things that we can do. If you have access to devices every day, you can use it as your warm-up and closing task. So they can just post on the Padlet for the day the answer to the warm-up and the answer to the closing task. Another example is that you can open a Padlet for the students to present their answers and use like a 3-2-1 summary of the lesson, or they can answer that essential question of the day. They can even post a picture related to the topic. So it gives you more options. Post a question for them to react, as I show you with mine. Small groups of students participating in a collaborative research discussion board and share their work. If you have only one device, and this is a suggestion that you can use, just have one device open with the Padlet and allow the students to take turns to post the comments. As they finish reading or as they finish their activities, they can go and start posting those comments on that open Padlet. Another way I have used it, and as I mentioned before, I'm part of the Avid Side team, and we use a lot of those strategies in class. So I made a different strategy. I use Padlet for the one-pagers. So instead of just a piece of paper, the students were able to do all the requirements of that one-pager on the Padlet wall. And at some point, it augmented the activity because they can even link videos. Some of them put links of videos that explain the topic, and it was really interesting how the kids can get creative when you give them a resource to work with. One suggestion, just for copyright, our kids just love to Google copy paste, is to go through Mac and Via. And we're going to talk a little bit about Mac and Via at the end. It's one of those amazing resources that the district offers through the libraries. And there you can find images and a lot of resources for them to use. Other suggestions that I found, and I'm going to show you some links where you can read some of them. The KWL charts for pre and post assessments, like sentence starters on a wall, allow the students to complete with their own ideas, allow the students to ask questions about the topics or assignments. So you can leave like a Padlet open and give them either the address or the QR code, and the students can post their questions that they have about the class. So it could be 24 hours, they post it, and when you get the email, you open it the next day, you can answer through the Padlet or cover it during class. So it's another way to get the feedback from the students and help them grow. You can use a wall for the group research, like I said before, and also this is a great one that we even use in our school as teachers to showcase the student work. As teachers, we share ideas and how we're using STEM and technology, and we post them on a Padlet where all of us have access and we can see them. So we can do the same thing with the students, a showcase of their work and put the links of the things that you're doing or pictures or videos on the same Padlet just for the classroom to use, only access to the classroom. Also, as I said, a closing task or a ticket out of the door just by collecting the feedback. So these are good resources to obtain ideas of formative assessment through Padlet. The first one is the Education Closet. And it gives you 5 ideas for using Padlet in the classroom. And they reinforce the idea of how simple it is. So as you see, they suggest a collaborative research, book studies, student sharing. Then we have other resource by EduBlogs. And it was formerly known as Wallwisher, and that is still the name of the company that works on Padlet. So if you look for Wallwisher, you're going to find a lot of options too and suggestions. And I like this one because it gives you ideas specifically made for your discipline. For example, language arts. What can students in language arts do? Social studies. Some suggestions specifically made for the social studies classes, or science, and other random ideas. And then I love this site. These are also good resources. Is Ditch That Textbook by Matt Miller, and he gives us 20 useful ways to use a Padlet in class now. So look, bell ringers, predicting activity, collaborative note-taking, event planning, WebQuest, even a QR code. I personally like this one because you can put all the QR codes with the links on the same Padlet. I'll let the students go through those specific links if they should not be just browsing through the internet. There are many good ideas on this one. Okay, so let's practice. We're gonna open a Padlet. And if you're here with us, I'm gonna share the link. As you see, as soon as you open it, it will assign you a name. So you can just edit this. Oh, better yet. Oh, I like the description. You can decide if you want it free form. What's going to happen is that every time, and I'm going to show you right now, the difference. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Again. I have to save it. Okay, so I'm going to share it with you now. So you see, this is very important. You can make them ask for approval before posting. So if you want to have more control of what the kids are posting on that wall, you can click on this one. If not, just allow anyone that has the copy of the template do the work or the link. In this case, it's secret. I don't want to make it public when I'm working with middle schoolers, so I'll just keep it secret. So when I share the link with them, they have access to it. One suggestion that I like to mention is tell the kids to write their name. Because if you're not making them, some of them can make an account if they're doing their own projects, but if they don't have an account, which is great and perfect for elementary and if you don't want to waste time, just tell them to put their name on the top. So for example, I'm typing random things here to show you. If they put their names on it, you know who did what. And that is one of my requirements for this kind of assignments. So let me show you the settings now. That will be freeform, where you can move it anywhere. And you're going to see that if you have a big class, it's going to be all full of little boxes, and sometimes they overlap, especially if they're using the iPads because they're just touching with their fingers. So if you make a grid, it's more organized, right? And the stream will look like this, and you can keep scrolling down. You can see that. Now, as the manager of the Padlet, this is something great. If you see that they did something that is wrong, is inappropriate, you can just delete the post because you're the owner of that Padlet. They can't, so they cannot delete the answers from their partners, but you have access to those. You can change the backgrounds too. It gives you options depending on the topic that you're working with, which is great, and they love to have visuals, as you know. And if they have an account and you click on this, you will see the name of the person that is posting. So you have different options. Okay, so let me see if some of you are watching right now and practicing at some point. If you have access to your iPad, you can try it. You can access Padlet.com or just type this. If you type this address, Padlet.com/itosado/GIST, you're going to be able to access and type on the same one at the same time. Another important thing is this share button. This is a button you need to see. You can add directly the people that you want to share it with, or you can also click over here. And personally, I love this snipping tool that we have from GISD. I love it because I can cut and paste it For example, I can paste it on a PowerPoint or a slide and just put my link and make it big, put it on the desk or put it on the wall, and the kids are going to be able to have that QR code. This is just perfect. So if you see these boxes over here, you have different options. The students can even record their voice. They can even put videos. You can even put a link. For example, right now our link. Oh, nice. I have too many Padlets open. There it is. I can put our link over here. And you have access to our video right here. So the students can actually post comments to that video that we're watching. The same for pictures. You can find a picture. Let's put the standards right there. Hey, welcome, white man. And we can also add files. So if you have like a document that you want the students to read and work on, you can add it here. Something that I love about Padlet, I love Google Classroom. I personally use it, but sometimes our students, they forget their logins or they take so long because the signal is slow and they're trying to log in at the same time. And that takes some part of the class. And, you know, we value the time. Time is gold. So the options that Padlet gives you is that they don't have to log in. They can just post on the same wall and you can put the assignment and the links on it without waiting for them to log in. It's very simple. So just with a QR code or just writing a shortened link, the kids can get to your Padlet. Once you're done, there's something else that you can do. You can modify it however you want. You can organize it. That doesn't look right. So you can have all the information. You can print it. You can make it as a PDF. You see there are more options here. Export it. Share it on Twitter. You don't want to do that if you have student work, but if it's something that doesn't have names, well, it's different. Keep posting your questions if you have any questions about it. Now, for this last minutes, we're only practically 5 minutes away. We want to show you some of the resources that we have. I love that through SchoolNet, we can access them. Most of the icons are right there, so you don't have to struggle to find it. But we have Atomic Learning, which is wonderful. If you go to Atomic Learning, you have so many courses that you can access for anything, for applications, for strategies. This is a way to keep growing. And it's free for GISD teachers. So if you have any questions, look at this one, Google Drive. We're using it so much. You can just access the courses through Atomic Learning. And the best part is that you don't need to watch the whole thing. Maybe you just need to see how to get the new Google Drive. Maybe you only need a specific thing, adding and finding files, and you don't have to watch the whole course for something. So it's by topic. You can select the part that you want to watch. It's a great option that the district offers. Another great resource that I personally use a lot with my students is Discovery Education. Every student has a Discovery Education account. As I show you, there's a way for them to enter. They have, let me see what I put that. They put the SID number, the letter S and their ID number. They put their NPIN, and they can log into Discovery Education. We can use the same login. Now make sure that your link says, and this is something very important, that the students in your link says garlandisd.discoveryeducation.com. If you're trying to enter Discovery on the regular application or web page, it won't let you in. In my case, I'm a social studies history, therefore I have all my units. It's linked to the 5 E's. So for example, if I show you, science uses this a lot. Has many good resources. It's linked to the 5 E's. So depending on what you're doing, you can find activities for the students to use. And they can even take the assessments on the iPad or any device that they're using and work on it. I really like Discovery Education. It gives us a lot of resources. One thing as a teacher that I love about it, if you type SOS and you click on View Strategies by Skills, now that we're talking about formative assessment, you are going to find so many options for formative assessment. Depending on what you want to do, you click on that and you're going to get all the ideas. They will have a video demonstrating how that strategy works. They will have the information. So if you're looking for ideas, this is a great spot to look. SOS on the key, on the search bar on Discovery Education from the Garland ISD. And last but not the least important, here we have Mac and VIA. Probably your librarian has talked about this already, but this is the best way to look for resources for our students. You're going to see it's a different layout on the iPad. Hopefully it logs me in before the time is up. But here you have access to the encyclopedias, books, you have access to different images and resources that the students can use without any copyright problems. They can do the citations and all those. Well, and this is all we have. If you have any questions, this is the time. We are making sure that you get your CPE credits. We're going to be posting that link on the side. Well, thanks for watching our video. Hope to see you next time when we have more webinars. If you have any other questions about Padlet, you can find me through itosado@garlandisd.net. That's my email, and the Twitter is Mrs. Tosado. Thanks for joining.